right? So the command for this particular command is cp, the option which we want to copy, the source, and the destination, right? So you just have to remember that this is the format of the copy command. Now let's have a bit of practical for this copy command. So let's see, we have different files, right? So let's go to the documents, cd documents, right? In the documents, let's create a complete report. Just let's create complete report first. This is my report. So as you can see, the complete report is made, right? Now let's transfer this particular complete report into a different file. For example, let's transfer this file into the OPT file. So it is transferred. Let's see the OPT file. So we can see here that the complete report is copied from this location to this location. And suppose if we create another report, for example, let's say we create this incomplete report. So this is not completed. We press Ctrl D to save it. As you can see that we can see this by pressing on the cat command. Now suppose I am in the main directory, right? So let's suppose we are in the main directory. Now we want to send this file from this to this particular file from, for example, let me say that I have the file here. Where I have the file, so the source is this, which is documents incomplete report. This is my source, and what is my destination here? So for destination, let's take as OPT, right? So let's work on this. For example, let's send this, write the cp command. There is no option used for default copy. We are just copying one file to another file. So what is our source? So our source is documents, documents, and the name is incomplete report. And what is our destination? Our destination is OPT. So let's enter it. So it seems that I have written documents wrong. So let's see. Okay, so this is inside the root, right? We also have to see that it is inside the root. Now it will work. As the documents is inside the root folder, right? It is inside the root directory. Now it will work. Now let's see ls opt. So we can see that incomplete report is also copied from the location, which is the source, to the destination, right? So this is the first file which we will copy. Now suppose, for example, we want to copy a directory into the OPT file, right? So as we have seen here, for example, let me show you a root folder. So this is the root folder that contains all the desktop documents, music, MySpace, public videos, and all these things. Now suppose I want to put this document directory inside the OPT directory, right? So in order to copy the directory as a whole, what we can do is we just have to put an option R, right? So let's say in the options, if we use R used to copy the whole directory, right? So the R option is used to copy whole directory. Now let's see the practical for this particular command. So let's say we are copying from, let's write the option. So the root is the folder and the directory name is documents, and we want to inside, we want it to paste inside the OPT directory. So this command is run. Now let's see inside ls opd. So we can see the documents folder here, and if we want to see the contents inside the documents, we can type documents. So you can see the complete report and incomplete report here also. So this is how we copy a particular document from one place to another. Now this is the basic example for copying files from one place to another. Suppose you want to move file. For example, we used to use a function in Windows which is cut. Suppose you want to use it here also in this particular part. So how we can do that, right? So let's take an example for that, right? So let's create another function which is already created. So the command which is used for moving files is called as mv. So let me write it as moving files and directories, right? So in moving files and directories, we use the mv command and we have the option. Then we have the source, and then we have the destination. So this is the command used for moving files from one place to another. Now let's go to the documents file. So in documents, we have already two files, which is complete report and incomplete report, right? So let's create a sales report here, right? So cat sales report. This is sales report. So let's save the sales report. As we can see, the sales report. So it is present here in this directory. So suppose we want to transfer this particular file or we want to move this particular file from this folder to the OPT folder. So we will use the mv command. We will write the name of the file that we want to move, which is sales report, and we want to move it to OPT. Also, if there is some kind of issue, we can take reference from here. Like there is no option for now, as we are simply moving using the move command to move a file, and the source is uh, there is no source for now, as we are already inside the documents folder. So we are using the sales report here, and the destination is OPT file, which is present beside the root folder. So right, let's run this command. So let's test. So as we can see that there is no sales report here now, but if we will check the OPT folder, so here we can see the sales report is moved from the documents folder to the OPT folder, right? And similarly, let's suppose we create here marketing report, right? This is market report, right? So suppose we want to move it from the main directory. So let's go to the main directory by pressing cd, which is the root localhost command. Now let's suppose from here we want to move it. So we'll type the command as move, and we will place it like, what was the source? The source was root documents and the mtt report, and the destination we want OPT, and this command will also run as well. Let's check the OPT file. So here is the marketing report, which is moved from the documents folder to here, right? So I have explained the both types of the move command which is used here. Now suppose we want to move a directory, right? For example, we are moving a particular file from one place to another. Now suppose we want to move a directory, right? So how will we do it, right? So for moving a directory, let's first create a directory, right? So let's create a directory inside our folder. So let's go to the documents. Inside the documents, let's create mkdir, as we have learned, dir1. So we have create a directory, right? So in order to move a directory, we will just type the directory name and the source we want to send it to. So the name of directory is dir1. So it is sent. Now if we will see the OPT folder, we will be able to find a directory here, right? So we are able to move the directory from one location to its destination, or from its source to its destination. So this is how the moving directory is done. And also there is an advantage of this mv command. We can rename different directories, or we can rename different files using this particular move command. For example, if this is the mv command which is used for moving files and directories. Now suppose for renaming files and directories, same mv command is used. So here it is written as old name, and it's written here as new name. So this works for both. This works for both, for the files and the directories as well. So let's test it out. We are in the documents folder. we have the incomplete report here. Let's suppose we complete this report and this is complete report or this is just report for now, right? So let's type the mv command. Let's type its name in complete report. And what will be the new name? Let's say report. So now let's check. So the name from incomplete report is changed to the report one. Now let's go to our directory, which is, let's go to OPT folder, OPT, right? Now let's see here. We have here the directory name as documents. Let's suppose we want to name it as reports, right? So we will just type the mv command, documents and reports. So it's as simple as that. Now the name of this folder is reports. You can also check it out. You can see the complete report is there, the incomplete report is there. So the folder name can also change by using the mv command. Now let's suppose let's go back to the documents folder. So inside the documents folder, let's create a directory. We create a directory like hipam. Let's create a directory named as hipam, right? So we can see the hipam directory here. Now let's suppose we want to delete this empty directory. So in order to delete an empty directory, there is a command which is rmdir. So let's write this new command name, which is deleting an empty directory. So for deleting an empty directory, we have rmdir and the directory name. Just make sure that we have to delete an empty directory, right? So rmdir hipam and it's done. Now if we will use the ls command, we will see the complete report and the report only. There is no folder named as hipam, right? So we have checked with this. Now also for deleting files, we have a different command. For this command was for directory, and this command that I'm going to discuss is for files, right? Deleting a file or a directory. So this command can delete both if it's a file or it's a directory, even if you will try to remove backups later on the later stages, or the tar file or the bunzip file or the gunzip file, then also this command will come handy. So the command is rm and it is option and the file or directory name. Directory name, right? So let's use this command. So let's suppose if I want to delete this report file here. So I will simply use remove report, right? That's all. So it will ask like that to remove this particular file. Let's press on yes, and the file is deleted, right? So suppose if we don't want that, we don't want this particular option to come, so we can also do it like this. For example, we can press complete report And yes, so this is not working. So I think it only works with different server commands. But later stages, you will also learn to press yes command there. So now let's move forward and remove some different files, right? So for directory we have tested. Let's go and try for the files we have tested. Let's go and test it for directories. So let's go to the OPT folder. Let's press the command. So let's suppose if we want to delete the reports folder here, right? So just we will type rm and we'll type reports and also make sure that the reports folder is not empty. So let's see if it deletes or not. So it's saying cannot remove reports. It is a directory, right? So it means that you cannot delete a directory from this command yet. So let's move forward. So also if let's try to delete a command forcefully. So there is an option which can be used to delete a directory or to delete a file. So in order to delete a file, we have force option, which is also called as force delete. In this option, it will not ask for permission to delete it or not. For example, I want to delete, for example, remove mkt report, right? And let's press on this force. So this will come in here according to the structure, right? So it's deleted. As you can see, it didn't ask for permission to delete this file for this time. Now let's go towards deleting the directory, right, which we have created. So rm option is used for this particular deleting a file. Let's suppose we want to delete a directory. So this is the command which is used to delete a directory, right? So let's try it out. Suppose we want to remove reports from here. So last time that we tried but we failed. So let's use rf here. It's removed, right? So rf option is used to delete the directories in the rm file, right? So we have checked as the directory is deleted. So now let's suppose if in the Linux we want to see that what is the current time, right? So in order to check with the current time, what we can do is we can, let's say, let's press for this command date. So by using the date command, we are able to see the current date and time of our system, which is right now. So this is the time. Also, if we want, we can change the time to, for example, suppose I want to change the time of my machine. So how can I do it? For example, I will type date command -s and I will type the time as 07/15/2009 006000. So if I press enter here, then the time of the system will be changed, but I don't want to change my time, but it is important to remember the format here or the date. So let's write to check the let's write it properly, to check the system date and time. To check the system date and time, right? So date command is used, which will be in the format of month, date, and year. So this is important to remember, and the time will be in the format of hour, minutes, seconds. So this is the whole format which will be used to change the time of our system, right? So let's move forward. Now let's see the calendar, how the calendar works, and let's press on calendar so we can see the calendar of this month, which is April 2025. And particularly today is 29th of April 2025, so we can see the current date. So let's suppose if we want to see the past, current, and the next month's calendar, we will type cal -3. So we can see the calendar of this month, the past month, and the next month, right? So let's also add in this command. And suppose if we want to see the calendar of the whole year, so instead of pressing 12, what we can do is we can press -y, which will show us the calendar of whole month, which is from Jan to December. So that's how it will come in handy. And suppose if we want to see the calendar of the month of December of year 2010. So let's see the month of January 2002, as it was my birth month. So let's see cal 01 2002. So here we can see the January 2002. So I was born on 14th, which was Monday, right? So it is showing the current date calendar, right? Also, if we want to see the full calendar of the year 2002, so we can just type as calendar 2002. Just that simple. It will show the whole year's calendar. And suppose sometimes when we use Linux commands, we stuck on particular command, right? So, for example, suppose if I forgot somehow, like how to use mkdir command and when it is used. So there is a simple command in the Linux which is man command, and we just have to type in the command name mkdir. So it will help us out with the whole mkdir command, that how we can see how much of the arguments we can give, which are the options, who is the author. So all these things we can see. And for to quit this, we have to just press on Q and will come out of it, right? So let's see the different commands that we have run now in our directory. So we have used the calendar commands, right? So to check the calendar, so to check the calendar, how many commands we have used. So here it's calendar, so right. So first we have seen, in order to see the calendar of this month, only the calendar command is used. To see the calendar of the 3 months, this month, past month, and the next month, this command is used. Now to see the calendar of whole year, this command is used, or we can say this -y, whole this year. Now let's suppose I want to see the calendar of past, which is for example, I want to see the calendar of Jan 2002. So this command is used to see the calendar of particular month of a year in year, right? And let's see if we want to see the whole calendar of any year. So we just have to press the year and calendar of whole year, right? So this is the calendar command which we used, and also we have seen to view help command, which is man, and the command which we want help with, right? And we used q to exit. So this is the commands that we have seen till now. Also, we can see the content of screen wise if we want to see the less content of any particular file. So for example, let me give you an example, right? So sometimes that we have to see this command, like we have to see, like, let's press on cat if I want to see the whole thing, etc, right? And we want to see, let's say, pass wd. So if you are able to see that we are able to see so many commands, right? We are able to see so many entries, but the thing was that I just want to see the entries which were recently created. So in order to use that, less command is used, less etc pass wd. So as you can see, it is showing the less commands from the previous user that we were typed, right? So this is the less command which we used screen wise. So this is the end here. Let's press Control C. Let's go back by pressing Q. So this is the command which we use if we want to see the whole screen of the command, content screen wise. Now let's suppose if we want to just see the 10 lines of a file, right? So for example, we can use, to see the 10 lines, we can use the head command. Like we are just able to see the first 10 lines of this particular file. Now let's suppose if I only want to see the top 5 lines. So if I want to see the top 5 lines, so I will use this -5 and I will be able to see the top 5 files. For the same, we can use the tail command. So let's suppose I want to just see the last 10 lines of this particular file. So I will use the tail command and I'm able to see the last 10 lines. Now if suppose if I want to see just last 5 lines of this particular file, then I will press -5, give some space, and I'm able to see the last 5 lines of this particular anaconda file. And similarly, I can rename them according to me. So lastly, what commands we have learned? So to see the file in whole screen, we can use the less command, and we have to choose the file destination, right? For example, we have used the less command as etc pass wd, right? Now let's suppose we want to see the to see top 10 lines of a file, right? So we can use for that, which is head, and we can name, for example, etc pass wd, right? And if we want to see the top 5 lines or to see top n lines, we can use head n etc pass wd, right? Similarly, to see last 10 lines, if you want to see the last 10 lines, the command is tail and the location, for example, which is etc pass wd. And if you want to see the last 5 lines or to see last n lines, we have the command tail minus hyphen 5 or hyphen n etc pass wd. So these are the commands that we have used on our Linux operating system, which were the basic commands part 2. So I hope that you have understood all the concepts, and thank you for being with me till the last of the video. Also, I'm going to upload these notes for